Hi, everybody. It is I, Becca Lori Hector here. It just got sunny out, literally just moments ago. The sun broke through. It's been kind of a cloudy day. It'll probably peep back under again, which is why I don't have my sunglasses on. I sure hope it does because it's a little glary and I feel like I'm making mole face at you right now. That's what I imagine it would be like if I was a mole. Sort of a little bit like that. In any case, I'm gonna wait like a few seconds to see if we can get everybody else in there. Kind of losing my voice a little. I had a long day already. It's about, well, it's 2:20 Mountain Standard Time, so I'm almost done with my day. I have one more meeting after this, one more phone call, one more little burst of energy I have to like pull through, and then yay, I'm done for today. Um, Hey, Miriam, Joe, Karen, hey, CV. Woo! Good to see you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me again this week on live stream. I have some things to talk about this week, not just our usual. So let's talk about it. Okay. Some of it is uncomfortable for me, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Um, so this week, you may have noticed that newsstand didn't come out. I postponed it on Friday. I wasn't feeling so good. And then I just decided I really needed the weekend. And I'll tell you what was going on. So you guys know, like last week was kind of a struggle for me. I was dealing with Antonio getting better and, feeling just poops for myself and everything. And yeah, so that was going on. And then if you are a member of Neurodiversity Newsstand and you are a member of the Facebook group, we had a little incident in the group. And I think, I was already feeling poop, as we know. I was already feeling like that. And then we had this incident in Newsstand. And I was bothered by it because it was really, when it boiled down to the whole whatever, the who posted and what the post was about is so unimportant. What was important is that it was really, in essence, a bullying incident that happened in Newsstand. And that's so not who we are. That's not what the group stands for. It's not the kind of behavior we condone. And in this particular case, it was a bunch of autistics bullying an ABA professional. And you cannot like ABA and you can have issues with it, and we all do, and all of that stuff. But that doesn't mean you get to turn all of that anger onto a human being, another fellow human being, right? Not okay. And that's essentially what happened in the group. And that person, in my opinion, that person handled it well and tried to answer some questions, and then eventually was bullied to the point of leaving the group and just felt unwanted in the group. And nobody should ever feel unwanted in Newsstand. The whole point of it is that we're a group of people sharing differing opinions, but sharing a space, right? And that means that there are going to be people that you disagree with, but you have to learn to disagree politely. And what was so upsetting about it is that, a few people kind of started with the comments and then it just snowballed. And that was the worst part, is that it was like, there weren't just a few offenders. It was like a bunch of people jumped on the bandwagon as though the few people that posted gave permission for that behavior to be okay. And that was so not cool with me. The whole situation wasn't cool with me. And because I was feeling already like battle worn and tired, and since I was already feeling kind of poop, that was it for me. And I just said, you know what? I don't have any spoons left now to do. Hey, Nancy, welcome. I don't have any spoons, left to do Newsstand now. And that's what happens, right? When we give our spoons to something that doesn't really deserve our attention, but at the same time needs our attention, something else falls off, right? And so Newsstand fell off. And I hoped that on Saturday morning, even though I would be a big giant mess, at least I could pull myself together to do Newsstand for you guys. But I couldn't. I was really just feeling down on that's what happened, is that like I was already feeling down, and then this thing happened in the group and it had me down on the whole community. And I was just feeling like, am I still doing the right thing? Am I working on the right stuff? Am I doing the right piece? And then I remembered what I talked to you guys about, which is that a bad day doesn't make a bad life. And that, a bad situation doesn't make for a bad group and all of those things. And so I just said, you know what, I'm taking the week off of newsstand. I need the extra rest, and I'm going to come back on Monday and not really worry about it. And that's what I did. And I kind of recharged, and I gathered myself, and I made apologies where I felt like they were due. And I reached out to the people that I felt like needed it in the situation. And I've moved on. But I'm still, I kind of paid the price for it, right? As that no newsstand came out this week. So I wanted to kind of address that and just talk about it, because I really don't condone that behavior, and it really makes it hard for us to move forward as a community. Nobody really wants to deal with us, hear us, help us, support us, provide services if we're all nasty and angry people about it. That's not how we move forward, and it's certainly not how I want to see autistics represented to other people. So I was just, I don't know, the whole thing has me in a poo about it, but I'm not staying there with the poo. That's what happened. So I moved on from that whole situation, and I made adjustments, but I wanted to talk about it here because, I don't want to ignore it. I don't want to pretend it didn't happen. But I made myself notes because there were so many things that I needed to talk to you about that I knew I'd forget. So that was it. Was the missing newsstand, and I have the note group toxic behavior, just so you know that I called it out as I see it, even for myself. But let's move on to happy things, because there are happy things to talk about, you guys. Most of you were in the group coaching call. Those of you that missed it, I'm sorry, but we had an amazing Unit 1 group coaching call, you guys. It was so good. I was so amped when we hung up. I was so excited by your questions. I was so thrilled to see you guys kind of working the program and getting through it. And I mean, really happy to see you guys kind of coming together as a cohort and using the group coaching call for what it's for, and knowing that you can come back to me, of course, whenever you need. And so I was so thrilled about your participation, guys. You asked such good questions. You were so there and so alive, and we were all sharing a space where we were all working towards the same goal, and it felt amazing. It just felt really, really, really good. And so I hope that you guys felt that energy. I hope you took good things away from the coaching call, and you're still processing through it, because there's going to be one for every unit. I won't leave you without cheering you on. I promise. I won't leave you without help along this journey, because it's lonely to do it by ourselves. So that was amazing. And then on top of that, I get to tell you guys, and I'm sort of semi-announcing it here first, I have scholarships for Unit 2. I currently have 8 scholarships. I've given a few away, but I have 8 scholarships available for Unit 2. If you're interested in a scholarship for Unit 2, please email me at info@beccalaurie.com. If you want to nominate someone for a scholarship seat to Unit 2, please email me at info@beccalaurie.com. Get yourselves registered, guys. July newsletter will be coming out. It, of course, will have discounts in it again. But please, please let me know if you want a scholarship. I now am excited to say I have sponsors. So I have scholarship seats to give to you for Unit 2. And hopefully we'll have the same for Unit 3. Speaking of Unit 3, it's kind of a ways away. It's months away on our personal journeys, but on our calendar journey, we can start making notes. So what I want to say to you is, I know a bunch of you are registered already for Unit 2 or have registered yourself for Unit 2. But if you're interested in a scholarship for Unit 3, I am going to start making a list now of scholarship people for Unit 3 as well. So you'll be on hold until Unit 3 sponsors come in, but at least you'll be the first to receive them as they come in. So if you're interested in a scholarship for Unit 3 or interested in nominating someone for a scholarship for Unit 3 or Unit 2, you can email me at info@beccalaurie.com. Woo! Those are my catch-up announcements. That's the stuff that I had to really share with you in terms of what's sort of going on. But exciting that we're moving forward on the journey, and we have places to go and things to learn and people to get to know. So yay, hooray, I'm excited. So That is that stuff. Shall we go on to our topic? I think we shall. We are going to talk today. I had two really good recommendations. Andrea, that was such a good recommendation, but I knew I had some other stuff to talk about, and I felt like almost her suggestion was communication for people who are poor communicators. And I think that's a great topic, and I'm probably going to use it next week. But this week, we are going to talk about bubble people because we were talking about it in our coaching call, and I want to keep the conversation going amongst us that are working on the journey and take those with us who feel like going on the journey also. So let's talk bubble people. What are bubble people? It is bubble people is my term. My bubble is my term that I use. I know it's not, I don't have like, I don't know, copyright on the term my bubble, but that's what I use to refer to the people in my life that are closest to me, the people in my life that I rely on the most, my support system, my cheerleading squad, those people. That is your bubble. There are a lot of misconceptions about bubbles. First, there's misconceptions about size of bubbles. You don't need a huge bubble. I have a 3-person bubble. I've sometimes 4, right? But that's my max. A lot of people have a few more people in their lives. They have a bigger bubble. There's more people they can trust. And some people have even less than 3 people in their bubble. So, yes, I know. Me too, CV. I wish there were bubble people store. Yes, that would be great. If you could go to the store and say, here's the bubble person I need. I need someone who can give me great advice on sex and relationships and finances. And they could arrive you with a bubble person, right, to match your needs. But that's not how it works. So who gets to be in your bubble? I mean, who gets that privilege? Because it is a privilege. And maybe that's the beginning. Maybe the beginning of understanding your bubble is that knowing that the folks inside of it have earned it. And it is a reward for someone to be in your bubble. It is a relationship goal to be with someone that trusts you enough to put them in your bubble. So it is a a privilege. That's what it's a privilege to be in somebody's bubble. So when you put somebody in there, remember you are giving them a privilege, right? Okay, so that's the beginning of bubble. The next part of bubble is to remember the kind of people that you put in your bubble. Well, first of all, you don't want just anybody in the bubble, and there's no requirements about who needs to be in your bubble, right? So bubble people can be family members, they can be people you work with, your colleagues, they can be friends, peers, right? They can be someone you know through your schooling, they can be almost anybody, they can be the person who you see at the grocery store every week. It doesn't matter what that person does, where in your life they fit. What matters is your relationship with them. Okay? So, and this counts with family members too. It goes both ways. So, yes, sometimes family members get in that bubble, but they are not given a free pass into your bubble. Okay? You are not required to keep your family members in your bubble, right? That doesn't mean you have to be mean to them. It doesn't mean you have to ignore them. It doesn't mean you never want to talk to them again. It just means when it comes to the information that you are most vulnerable with, you just don't share it with the people outside of your bubble, right? Because the people inside your bubble know your real you. That's the goal, right? You want to surround yourself in a bubble with people who let you be the best you, let you be the you want to be without judgment, without criticism, without any kind of, well, okay, maybe if, right? None of that stuff. It's a privilege to get into that bubble because they get to see you, real you, and you're good, you're bad, you're ugly, but real you, right? Unmasked, authentic you. That's who your bubble people get to see. That's the gift that you give them back for being in your bubble. And what do they give you? Well, your bubble people better be people that you trust, people you can rely on, like consistently rely on, people who give you good advice, that have shown that their advice is good advice over the course of time, right? And remember that the people that belong in your bubble are all there serving a different purpose, right? Just because someone's in your bubble doesn't mean that you can go to them when you need advice about everything. right? They're going to be your advice getters, and the person that you go to when there are certain things that you're looking for, right? You might have somebody in your life who's in your bubble that you can always go to for work advice, right? Employment advice. But that person might not be so great at relationships. So they're not the person you want to go to for relationship advice, right? So everybody has their strength, right? And you want people in your bubble that have their own strengths and weaknesses. You want a good mix of people that can truly help you with the things you need help with. Um, outside your bubble, you have another set of supports, but it's not quite the same as bubble people. And nobody should just get a free pass in there, right? Nobody. That again, I'm going to say it over and over. It is a privilege for you to be in somebody's bubble and for them to be in your bubble. It's an earned privilege. They've shown that they deserve it, right? We don't just let anybody in there willy-nilly, right? So what I say is when you're looking for bubble people, you want to make sure that they're not you're not just putting people in there because you feel obligated to put them in there. Maybe they're people you see all the time. Maybe it's a spouse or a family member, and you don't quite feel bubbly about them. And that doesn't mean that relationship can't change. That doesn't mean if you want that person to be a bubble person, you can't work on that relationship. But you really have to treat your bubble as though it has the same amount of value as we treat our spoons, right? It's that valuable. It's that much of a privilege to get in there, right? And it's that important to have and to keep, right? And to take care of, because that's the other piece of your bubble people. You have an obligation to them, though, right? Much as it's a privilege to be in your bubble, you have to let them know you appreciate it, right? Don't forget to thank your bubble people. Let them know when they've helped you. Let them know when they've been around, and don't forget to offer your help in return, right? You may not be the best person for that person to come to for social questions, but they might have a question that you can answer about computer software or about art history or anything, right? And so put yourself out there. Remember that a relationship goes two ways, and you have an obligation on your side to participate as well. You have to take care of your bubble people. Love them. They're very, very special, right? You put them in there because they're special, and now you need to take care of them. So let's think about that. Spend some time this week and sort of really think about who's in my bubble. Do I like who's in my bubble? Did they deserve to get there? Maybe I should rethink my bubble, right? And then we did some talking in the coaching call with how do you find bubble people? Right? Where do we go and put in our order for a bubble person, right? And I think what I need to say is you have to work for it a little bit. I mean, if you want good bubble people, you can't just pick any Joe off the street. You got to go find your bubble people. You got to interview them a bit, test them out before they get into the bubble, right? And we talked a little bit about how special interests are really like the key to our brains, right? And the way to find people that you're going to connect to and people that you're going to feel safe with is to find a way to engage with them. And we engage through our special interests and enthusiasms. So that's a fantastic place to find some bubble people. Look through your special interests, right? We in this group know, right? We could all be sitting in this little group with our bubble people for all we know. You could be chatting in the chat with your bubble person, your next bubble person right now, because they too are committed to this journey. They're on it with you. This is their interest right now. This is their enthusiasm. It's personal growth. So why not share that with somebody, right? That's how we find our bubble people. We find our bubble people also when we are at our worst, when we need the most help and we are the least put together. And those people show up whether they know how to help or not. That's another way to look and recognize your bubble people, right? And the people that don't show up because you don't have the words to ask for help, you have lost them, right? Or those that don't check in on you unless they need something from you, not bubble people. Those are not bubble people. No, right? And so there's a difference. But all of that stuff, all of these interactions, all of these choices about who you let into what level of your selfness, your authenticness, right? It's all work and it all takes time and it's all trial and error. I talk about that all the time, right? We have to try it out. But take care of yourself. Remember that you're not giving away something that's so easy for people to find. Remember that allowing somebody in is truly a gift that you're giving them. And we shouldn't just willy-nilly give it to whomever, right? Treat you and your time and the time that people spend with you with the value that you give your spoons, right? Really. That's what it comes down to. So that's what I've got on bubble people. I mean, they're important. You don't need a lot of them. You need one though. You got to have some people, right? And you got to learn how to figure out who deserves to be there and who doesn't. So get out there trying, right? And dip your toes in and do all kinds of trials with people. And remember that just like you had to earn your driver's license, they need to earn their license into your bubble, right? That's how it works. And you need and you deserve to understand your own value. You must, right? It's where all of this stuff leads back to, is understanding that you have value and a lot of it. Yeah. So that's what I got for us this week. I hope you guys thought that was a good topic, CV. I hope you liked it. We will continue to talk and think bubble people, because as we grow and evolve as human beings, our bubble will also grow, evolve, and change. And that means sometimes you got to kick people out of your bubble, and sometimes you invite people in, right? So spend some time this week thinking about that. Think about your bubble people. Think about who you let in, who you don't. And see if you can't set up some of those nice boundaries to keep you aligned and going straight down your bowling alley, right? And protecting yourself from gutter balls, right? So that is what I've got. I'm so excited. I am so thrilled to see you guys talking in chat. I'm going to catch up really fast. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Stevie, right? Figuring this stuff out when you have these moments of awakening, they make you nauseous. They blow you over. They're so big that your brain can't process it without involving your body. And that means that you're really getting it. So the nauseousness is a physical representation of big thoughts, big changes. And I'm excited for you. I really am. Um, Oh, and I'm so glad to see you guys chatting and being friends, because it's true. Really, we're on this journey together, and who we meet on our personal growth journeys those are the people we develop really deep relationships with. So come to each other, look for each other. We're all on this journey together, right? Um, all right. Well, you guys go be chatty. Go find each other out in the internet world so you can email and message each other. I'm gonna get back to my last phone call of the day, and then I'm gonna rest because I've earned it today. And I earn it most days, right? We all do our best, and rest is something we need. And so I'm gonna hurry up and get to my rest, I guess. And I will see you guys this Friday for Newsstand. Don't forget to email me at info@beccalaurie.com to get on the scholarship list for Unit 2, and Unit 3. If you're interested in being a sponsor, please head over to my website, beccalaurie.com, to the sponsors page. I would love to give out as many scholarship seats as possible. And thank you to my current sponsors who have made it possible for me to give out the scholarship seats I have for Unit 2. Okay, I'm looking forward to Friday, you guys. I will catch up with you then, and I will, of course, see you next Tuesday for the next installment of Becca's Backyard Live. Bye, guys. I'll see you soon.